Hey man,
How you doing, buddy? Can you hear
good.
me?
I can hear you perfect. Can you hear me?
Yep. Wow.
Hey man.
Living the rock star life, upgrading.
Oh, yeah, I actually did upgrade all my shit to take photos at gigs.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so hopefully when the daisies come down, I can like take nice photos.
I would love that, dude. I keep sitting there like I look at our tour schedule every year and I go, ah. But you know what? I got to be honest with you. Like when I was there doing the acoustic shows with Silverback,
Yeah,
I was like, holy shit, Australia makes it so fucking hard
it
for,
does.
yeah, it's like visas. And then, it's like they literally, you know, background checks. And then it's like you get there. So the first time when I was there, we did, well, not the first time I was there, but when I came down with the Daisies, Dizzy and I knew that we were going to be there for like a month. So we each brought like 4 cartons of cigarettes. And they were like, oh, no, mate, you can only have 2. So they threw 2 of them away, each like of each of us. So we're like, fuck, like we're there for 2 weeks or, a month,
Yep.
but we've only got like maybe 2 weeks worth of cigarettes. You know what I mean? A little more. And then the last time I came in, I brought 2 cartons because that's what I thought. Like the last time I was there.
Yep.
And they changed the rules now where you can only come in with 1 pack, like 20 cigarettes. That's it.
Yep.
And I was like, you're fucking shitting me. They took my vape oil away from me. And then I'm just sat there I was like fucking miserable because it's like I am not spending $50 for a pack of cigarettes. So anyway, long story, but it's just they make it brutal, and I don't know. I hope that we can get back down there again soon.
But even still, like a lot of people, when they go online, they'll go, "Why don't you tour Australia?" They don't realize that we've got sometimes 5, maybe 6 major markets, and you can't drive between them. You have to fly. You've got no
Right.
choice.
And that's what I did when I was there. I did Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane. There was a 4th, and then I went to Perth.
Yep.
And then I flew back home from Perth.
That would have
which
been
was
brutal.
Well, it was like Perth to Sydney. Then I had a layover. And then Sydney to LA, I had another layover, and then LA to Nashville. And I was like, fuck me.
Yep.
But I don't know. It's just weird. It's like the cost of everything, just the whole bit, and then like you said, there's only really 5 cities to really
Yeah.
play in. You know what I mean? So makes it a little difficult.
And that's the thing. You would have 5 cities alone in Tennessee you could play.
Be honest with you, I could do 5 gigs in Nashville.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So all good. Otherwise, how you doing, buddy?
We are doing great. We have just come off having Alice here. So, a couple of those boys. So Alice Cooper's band was here. And his band goes and does those dive bar shows after the gig.
Yeah.
And Alice rocked up to one.
That's awesome.
It was Kyla's birthday.
Yeah. So they did that here in Nashville. Oddly enough, they played with Motley at this Bridgestone Arena.
Yeah.
And these buddies of mine, Jeremy and Phil and Cook, they used to do this thing called the Rock and Roll Residency.
Yeah.
So they did this thing, and they had talked to Chuck Garrick, said, hey, dude, if you want to come by, blah, blah, blah. Well, the whole band showed up, Alice and everybody. Yep. And they just walked in. They literally just got off stage, and they walked into the club, took over the stage, and played another 6 or 7 songs,
Yeah.
and it was awesome.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
This was a brand new bar, funnily enough, called the Alice Bar.
Uh-huh.
So new that they didn't have a barrier, so it was a whole heap of seats with chicken wire stapled to them.
That's funny.
So I'm like right up against this chicken wire taking it was like Blues Brothers style almost, like, you know. But I was there
Awesome.
taking photos and stuff, and they killed. But
So Frankie's is no more, right? Frankie's in Sydney.
Frankie's is gone. But so they did the same in Sydney with Jordan and Joel. But they played the Crowbar, which is like the new dive bar in Sydney.
Okay.
And yeah, and Alice Bar is Brisbane's dive bar.
Got you.
And it's you would actually really love it. It's really Frankie's.
Awesome.
It's just got that vibe.
Good to know. You know, hopefully the next time I come back, whether it be with the Daisies or solo stuff, I can play, you know, the new place. So,
and it's good, you know, like, because I remember that show was great, you know.
Yeah.
The thing is, for me, when you do those acoustic shows, you're always going to be at the mercy of the louder drunk crowd, as you experienced in Brisbane.
I didn't think it was too bad though. It wasn't bad. But, so trust me, dude, I told my I have an agent in Europe that books me to do the acoustic shows, and I begged him, I go, please do not send me to do acoustic shows in Norway.
Wow.
And he goes, why? And I go, every time we go, there's literally like 400 people there. But I don't mean this as a slag, but it's 400 drunk Vikings.
Yep.
Just louder than shit. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, it was insane. I go, I don't want to do it anymore. Stop. Yeah. I'm like, anywhere but Vikings. So anyway,
that's the screen grab. I have.
Have you heard?
Kat sent it to me.
What do you think?
I'm going to tell you, the Daisies have really found their sound. I hate comparing stuff, but I liken it to old school Deep Purple.
Which song did they send you?
The first single.
Light 'Em Up?
Yeah.
Oh,
I get really cool, like vicious, like Deep Purple 70s vibes from it.
Okay, awesome.
You know, everyone's going to get.
I think this record's it's gonna shake a lot of people up. It's a really cool record. So we did some stuff. It's funny, like there's some really cool stuff on the record, just aggressive, in your face. And then maybe 25, 30%, 40% of the record, we started getting a little eclectic. Nice. Do you know what I mean? There's some Zeppelin sounding stuff in there, and Aerosmith, and just it's cool. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I like the vintage vibes, but I like the modern production that Marty always brings to his stuff.
Yeah, it's we're excited to get back into the studio again and see what we could come up with. And it was great working with Marty again. And it's just weird, like working with him. The band just works so fast. It's insane.
Yep.
Like we went into the studio with, again, just a bunch of ideas. And it was weird. We probably pretty much wrote the songs and recorded them as we were writing them. And the guys were only here in Nashville 10 days.
Wow.
And then, like, I had already started working on some lyrics, and I was doing some work. Like, I was in the studio, but then I would come home and I'd work on lyrics. and then bring them into Marty, and then he would look at them, and then we tweak everything, and then I go right in and sing. So I was doing like a song a day, but we did the basic tracks and solos. We did all the music stuff in 9 days, and then I sang a song a day. So we did the whole record technically in like 19 days.
Wow. That's
crazy.
It's
it's pretty insane.
Yeah.
So
no wonder I get some old school vibes, because that's like in the 70s, as you know, all your favorite bands, it was, you've got this amount of time to get this record done, and then you've got to go tour again. They never wasted time.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing. Like I've got a gig in about 3 or 4 days. I'm heading to Brazil to do an acoustic show, and then come back, and we just go right into rehearsals, start rehearsing and get ready for the tours. So it's gonna be cool.
So how many of these sort of riff ideas that you came in with were maybe looking at being solo songs, but then became a Daisy song?
There's one song on the record. It's weird. It's not like a traditional ballad, but there's one that I was going to release with on my solo, my solo thing that I wrote with Marty. We put that on the record. The guys heard it, and they all loved the song. So I just said, well, you know what? I'll just put it on whatever, the Daisies. So we re-recorded it with the guys. But all the rest of the stuff, dude, was, pretty much from scratch.
And you now have Clefairos back on drums.
Yes.
And no, the Daisies has always sort of had a nice revolving cast of people, and Clefairos has played with you guys before. So what do you think he brings to this one?
Yeah, we all, and again, I've known Tommy for, God, almost 20 years now. And from back in the LA days. And, and he was here. He was with the Daisies for a couple of years already. He's just an easy dude. He's pretty mellow. He's like, just get up, beat the shit out of his drums, and he's just easy to work with. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, I don't know totally, to be honest with you, what went down between Brian and everybody, but I think he had some prior commitments. I think with Gene Simmons and some other people that he's working with. And, so I don't know what happened with that. I really would rather not speculate, but, it's unfortunate. I love Brian. We wish him the best of luck, but, we're just excited at this point about the new record. And we've got a couple little tricks up our sleeves for the next, there's going to be some cool shit happening for like the next year or so. So it's going to be awesome.
How many songs are going to be on the album? How many made it?
10.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, we did, obviously Light 'Em Up. Everybody contributed. There's, a cover song that Mr. Lowy picked, on the record. I think all you blokes down under will, get a kick out of. It's going to be awesome. So, I don't know, man. I'm just really stoked to hear the record after it's mastered and all that stuff, see the artwork, and see what everybody thinks.
And I know you mentioned in the past when you're in the Daisies, it was a bit of a burnout with the amount of touring. So I gather the band is, committed to doing dates, but also keeping themselves sane as best as they can.
And that was the thing when actually David Lowy flew down here last year before I came back to the band. We sat down and in all honesty, like all through me saying, hey, I need to step off this, carousel for a minute. I was still talking with Dean Castronova while he was in the band. I was still communicating and talking to David Lowy, talked to Doug quite a bit. And at one point, even at one point when they were getting ready to go do a tour with Glenn, and Glenn was pretty sick. I don't know if he had COVID or what the deal was, but he couldn't do the rehearsals. So I went up and kind of, just kind of walked them through vocally, guided them through these 10 days of rehearsals. And then they came back. I came home. Then they went and rehearsed another few days with Glenn, and then they went on tour. So we were still, we were still pals. We were still buddies. You know what I mean? There was no bad blood at all with any of us. It was just burnout.
Yeah.
And, for me anyway. And, but so David, anyway, long story, even longer. David came to Nashville and he said, hey, dude, Glenn's off doing his thing. We'd love to have you come back. And he assured me, he goes, look, we were burning the candle at both ends when, we were touring. And he said, I don't want to do that. He said, I want to go out for a bit, come home, hang out with our families, get some rest, go back out again, come home, and just pace ourselves a little better, I mean, the grand scheme of things, none of us are 20 years old anymore.
Yeah.
So he was like, I want to go out. I want to have fun, which was his goal the whole time. Play some rock and roll and not kill ourselves in the process.
Yeah.
So I was like, count me in. You know what I mean? I'm good. Let's do it.
Does it blow your mind that you're buds with Glenn Hughes now?
Say what now?
Does it blow your mind that you're buddies with Glenn Hughes now?
I've been buddies with Glenn.
What? Okay.
Glenn's with me.
Wait a minute, he sang on the Motley record.
Yeah, Misunderstood.
Yeah.
I met Glenn in 1992. And when I met him, then it blew my mind. I was like, holy shit, this is the guy that I watched at the Cal Jam in 1974, 5, whatever it was. And, when he stepped up to the mic and did that middle section of Burn,
mm-hmm.
I didn't even know who he was. Like, I had heard of Trapeze, but I hadn't really paid much attention to him. But when he stepped up to the mic and sang that middle section of Burn, I was like, what the fuck am I hearing right now?
Yeah.
So when I obviously, I was like, I was just blown away. And he sang on the Motley record with me. And then when we played in LA, we played at a place called the Palladium. Glenn came down and we said, hey, dude, you're here. Like, you want to come up and sing it with us? And he goes, yeah, man. And so he came on stage and he sang Misunderstood with me on stage. So I kind of lost touch with him for a minute. And then when I found out that he was, I guess, for a lack of a better term, taking my place.
Yep.
I just shot him an email and we communicated and I was like, dude, have fun, man. It's a great band. And, just congratulated them when the records came out and so on and so forth. But I've never worked with Glenn in a long capacity, but, from my vantage point, he's a fucking legend, dude. He's awesome.
He's down here again soon doing Burn. And
awesome.
Yeah, I went and took photos last time and it was stupid how good he was. So I can't wait. But
yeah, and that's the other thing, man. It's like, how old is he now? 73, 74?
Yep.
And he sings as good as he did back in the day, you know what I mean? And you're like, it's insane, dude.
You know who sang really fucking good last week was Debbie Harry from Blondie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were with Alice, and she killed. She was so good.
That's awesome.
That made me happy.
Yeah, she was a badass.
Yep.
I don't know what she's now, but I mean, she's a grandmother now, I would imagine.
She's just a slower moving badass.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, the book's been out for a little while now. How are you finding it a year or so on?
It's been pretty quiet, to be honest with you. There's, as with anything else in the entertainment industry, everybody talks about it in the beginning, and then it just kind of,
yeah.
But it's still selling well. It's not going to be any, on any New York Times bestseller list, but I still get compliments on it. People still come up and ask me to sign it, and it's just one more thing that I can put on my resume. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But hopefully, I think the audiobook and the paperback are coming out soon, so we'll see. But I'm just happy we did it. It's out there. It's it's out in the ethos, man. People can check it out, so it's all good.
I love the fact that when I'm long gone, my kids will go, "What's this John Corabi book?" And they'll open it and see how you signed it to me, and I'm sure I'll be laughing from wherever I'm placed.
I hope I didn't say anything too risque in the signing.
No, you just continued the thread from our last chat, which was when you were coming down here for the solo tour. I'm like, "Are you ready to go?" And you're like, "Just got to shave my balls."
Okay, I remember now.
Yep. Yep. So that'll just be a fun one for them to open up.
Yeah. Shave your balls, bud.
Shave your balls. Aerodynamics. So you said, the whole thing is it's expensive to tour. It's expensive anywhere. And the markets aren't what they were, especially since we've come back from COVID. They're flooded. They're just flooded with everybody. So if you were going to recommend what people, if they're going to spend their 40, 50 bucks, whatever it is, to come see a show, why should they come and see the Daisies?
Fun. Listen, we're not, we don't have the answer to world peace. We don't have the fucking cure for cancer. But I can guarantee you that for the hour and a half or so that we're on stage, we're going to do our damnedest to help you forget what your fucking issues of paying bills and taxes and any shit that's smiting you at the time. You know what I mean? So, the band's never been, in my eyes, or I'll say in my tenure with the band, never been more than, we put a lot of time and effort into writing good songs. We try. You're not going to please everybody all the time, so we please as many people as we can. The thing that I love about the Daisies is they've got a great social media staff. They're constantly letting the fans know what we're doing. We try to interact with them as much as we can. And at the end of the day, as David Lowy said, I started this thing in the beginning because I've always loved music. I love writing music. I love playing music. And I'm serious. 75% of my life is running a huge corporation. That's serious.
Yeah.
Like, this is about having fun.
Yeah.
And he goes, that's what I want to do. And that's all the Daisies has been to me, has been an outlet for everybody to write great songs and just get on stage and have everybody that does spend the 40 or 50 bucks, as you said, to just be able to forget their troubles for an hour and a half and just laugh or just have fun. You know what I mean? So I can sum it up in one word, dude. Fun.
Perfect. before I let you go, I've got to ask, how'd you like the Union reissues when they came out?
Actually, we were all quite um kind of involved in it to a degree. Like
Yep.
we were all signing them, and the record label and Pete, our buddy Pete Merluzzi, they were sending us, hey, here's the artwork, check this out. Do you guys like this? Do you not like it? Um to be honest with you, I have both copies of the vinyl here.
Yep.
And I haven't heard either one of them, so I don't know how they sound.
They sound great.
Yeah, because it's funny, I've got a huge stack of records and I don't have a record player.
I heard you do that vinyl podcast and you were like, I just keep taking them back. They're shit.
Yeah, it's funny. I went out and I rebought like a bunch of records that I had when I was younger, and I had all these vinyls, like the entire catalog of David Bowie and Alice Cooper and Zeppelin and Beatles, Aerosmith, Pink Floyd, Black Sabbath, Grand Funk, like all these bands. And when I moved from Philadelphia and I got to LA, I got rid of a lot of them before I went to LA. And then when I did my first record, the Scream album, they had some vinyl, but that's when it was starting, the CD was. So I just went, I don't need this shit anymore. And I fucking got rid of them all. I like gave all my records away to a friend in LA.
Oh.
And now I'm sitting here, I go to places like Guitar Center, department store, whatever. And I'm like, oh, look, they got Grand Funk. We're an American band. I'll buy it in vinyl. I just bought Masters of Reality, Sabbath. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just rebuying all these records that I had like 20 years ago. But now I bought a record player and it sounded like shit. So I took it back to the store. So now I'm like looking for just a really good sounding vinyl of the record player so that I can just set it up in my living room. And
I'll text you the link to mine. The thing I like about mine is, like with everyone, you got all your connected bullshit in your house, like your Google speakers and stuff. Mine's a Bluetooth turntable, so it connects to all my wireless speakers.
Okay.
And it sounds warm.
Yeah, I kind of avoid like the whole Alexa shit, whatever.
Yeah.
But I would like to just get a nice turntable and a couple decent sized speakers.
Yeah.
I've got a spot picked out for it in my living room. And I don't know how many, I guess Bluetooth, I could probably connect them.
Yeah.
You
can go speakers on this one too.
The what now?
You can go wired as well.
It'd be kind of cool to just get like 3 or 4 of them and put them around the house and just, you know what I mean?
Go quadraphonic, but wireless.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I should do that. I got a first press of Dark Side of the Moon.
You know, it's funny. Somebody just gave me, I was just cleaning out my motorhome. And I was going through the cabinets, and a really good friend of mine gave me an old 70s vintage poster, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. And I just told my wife, I go, I'm getting that framed, and I'm hanging it in my studio. Good. So,
well,
yeah.
I'm glad you'd like the Union one, because, I was working hard with Pete on that one, and if people like the Blue Room, I designed it. If they don't like it, I still designed it, so I don't care. But that was actually
good job.
That was a photo that Fitz took on his phone.
That's funny.
And I was like, give me that photo, and I made the whole thing from that.
Yeah, and I believe the front of the bar is the actual bar in Burbank, California that we used to go to. Well, I did in Fitzy.
Yep.
And James Hunting, we would go there and have cocktails once in a while.
I did a bit of Google digging to find that.
Yeah, it's a cool little pub, but I don't know. But And I didn't realize that you did the artwork for it.
Yeah, I helped on the debut one, and I did pretty much all of the Blu-ray.
Awesome, buddy. Well, good job.
It was a 6 month labor of love.
He basically, Pete called me. He goes, "Hey, I need you to get a picture of yourself at a bar or something that looks like a bar." And I go, "Okay, sure." And then when I saw the back cover, I'm like, "Oh fuck, that's awesome!" It's cool, dude. Did a good job on it. Awesome.
All right, man. I'm going to let you go. We are waiting for this damn album to come out. There's not enough good music coming out at the moment, so I am, like I said to you, it's modern, it's vintage, it's the Daisies. If you can stack this new single in the catalog, and it works perfectly.
Dude, I'm very excited. I really am excited about it. Doug, all the guys, everybody played their ass off. And like I said, we spent like 9 days working on the tunes. We got the tunes together. There's a cover song that I think you guys would be and down there in Australia. This is off the record. You can't tell anybody I told you, but we covered we changed the key to fit my voice, but dude, it's badass. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you would have to drop that down, yeah?
No, I think we raised it.
Wow. Cool.
Right, like singing it more like I don't know if you can picture it or not, but kind of singing it more like Steven Tyler.
That's cool.
Yeah, we raised it up. It's kind of like me let the music do the talking.
Gotcha. Now I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So you'll see. It's a bit. It's funny. It's a bit heavier than the original, but it's cool. We had to change the key so that I could kind of get into that little raspy thing that I got going on. So
awesome, man.
It's going to be awesome, dude. It's pretty cool. Don't at anybody. Yeah, chop this whole last part of the conversation out, buddy.
Yeah,
I don't want anybody knowing that we're giving away trade secrets.
It'll be thank you, good night.
Yeah, exactly. And fade to black.
Yep. Awesome, man. I'll let you go. Enjoy the rest of your night in Nashville. And we'll talk again maybe when the album's coming out, or we'll get a couple of you guys on and talk more about the songs, and hopefully 2025 maybe we'll see the Daisies here.
You know what? I'm not writing 2024 off either, so we'll see. But
awesome, man.
You have a good day too, my friend. I'm sitting here with my Guinness, and I'm going to go in and watch a movie with my wife.
I'm about to go have a coffee.
Good idea.
See you, man.
All right, boss. See ya.
Take care.